So today on our film review show, we are going to talk about this action flick directed by Arun Aniruddhan. Right, if we look at the story, the movie starts with a cultural program happening at a college. There's this couple in love there. They want to release a book they wrote at that cultural program. But then a huge accident happens there. In that accident, the girl and the guy, both of them die. Totally broken by this, the boy turns into an alcoholic. Then a few years later, Fasil Joseph goes to get admission in the same college. That's when we find out that Fasil Joseph is actually the younger brother of that alcoholic guy. And also, the college hasn't had any cultural programs for like 3-4 years. Now Fasil Joseph makes a decision. He wants to bring back that cultural program to the college. And he really wants to release that book at the same event. Meanwhile, there's this retired gangster, in the village. There's Tovino Thomas, who wants to turn over a new leaf and live straight. So a small problem pops up between him and Fasil Joseph's group. It gets bad enough to mess up the whole program. And get this, Vineeth Sreenivasan himself comes as the chief guest for the event. The moment that retired gangster finds this out, he decides he's going to ruin this program no matter what. What happens after that? Well, that's what the whole movie is about. As for the first half, the story just flows really naturally. The screenplay develops so well. Especially Fasil Joseph's brother's story, then Fasil Joseph's college life, and his love story there. Even the villain, this retired gangster, who just naturally shows up. And Vineeth Srinivasan's entry into the event, all of it was woven into the story so beautifully. But in the second half, they made it like, oh look, the hero's trying to stop this event, so the villain keeps creating all these obstacles. And whether he overcomes them or not is supposed to be the interesting part, right? They kept piling on obstacles one by one. It became a huge film obstacle. The story just got totally messed up and confusing. Everything just felt so unnatural, like it was all forced. The entire second half was just about the hero wanting to hold this event and how the villain tried to stop him. This alone dragged on for almost an hour and 15 minutes. And honestly, they didn't even have a proper screenplay for that long. The movie's length for that part was just way too much. Other than that though, production-wise they made the film look really grand. The casting was spot on. Everyone who acted in the film was perfect. Even with all the screenplay confusion, the main reason we watched the movie without getting totally annoyed was that they stuffed it with comedy everywhere. That kept the film from dragging. Honestly, if they'd handled the second half like the first, we could have easily called this a really good film. But still, it's really not a bad movie at all.